conclusion natin dito, Alfred should conduct the survey dahil nanggaling itong EMV na to na 7.42 dito sa conduct. As you can see, nag-blue siya. No, so Alfred should conduct a survey and expect a gain of $7.42. Since this is in $1,000, guys, 7.42 is equivalent to $7,420. So that is the decision for the company. Hello everyone, how are you? So good day to all of you. For our presentation on this video, we will going to have our applications of the POM-QM software in the topic Model 2 of the decision analysis, which is all about the decision trees with the revised probabilities. Okay, so let's start. For our given problem there, kung naalala nyo pa, no, sa manual na ating presentation, manual solution, we have this problem. So I'll just repeat. I'll just read this for now. No, Proctor and Gamble's Tide. So Alfred, the product manager of Tide, is planning to conduct a survey before making a decision on what product to launch. The cost of the survey is $1,000. Figures are summarized in the next slide. Should Alfred conduct the survey? So that is the question. How much gain or loss will he expect for the company? And what will be his decision if the survey is positive? What if the survey turns into negative? So what is the expected value of the sample information or the EV-SI? As you can see, this is the second example on our manual solution. I don't include the first example since the first example is just somehow a conditional probability. This is the example regarding the revised probability itself. Okay, so the given here is this payoff summary table. As you can see, here the payoffs are 20, 12, 0, negative 18, negative 3, and 0. And we have the cost of survey of 1. The dilemma for Alfred's perspective is whether he should conduct the survey or not. And that is the dilemma. If he will conduct the survey, it will cost them $1,000. No, that is the cost of survey. And if that is the case, we will going to have our net payoff summary table here, which is all the payoff will be minus sa cost of survey na meron tayo. Na payoff minus CS nga, yun yung formula for the net payoff. As you can see, nabawasan ng isa. All the negative, if the tide with zone rocks turns into failure, yung negative 18, madagdagan pa ng isa pa dahil nag-survey ka pa, so magiging 19 na yung loss mo. That's why it is negative here. Same with the negative 4 and negative 1. Okay, so this is the net payoff. But the thing is, since we're going to apply this in the POM-QM software on how to easily have the decision tree sa software natin, I have dito yung final na decision tree natin using the manual. No, and we will going to just turn this into the software. And at the same time, since we have the tree, the graphical tree, we also have here the table. No, kinapik ko lang from our manual na solutions. Anyway, we can proceed with the POM-QM by just having this decision tree na lang, no, yung kung paano siya ginagawa sa software. So let's go now to our POM-QM software and have the decision tree. Okay? So I am now here in the software. Kapag nasa harapan na kayo, again, just like what we have used to do before, pinakauna is to go to the module and decision analysis. Okay? So once you have clicked the decision analysis module, you can now go to the file section and click new and choose the decision trees graphical. Okay? Now, for the title, let's have here PNG's Tide. Okay, PNG's Tide. And this is revised probability. Probability. Let's write decision trees with revised probability. Okay, guys, take note. Our objective is to have the profits maximized, no? So ito ang pipiliin po natin. By default naman, naka-profits maximization naman siya. Then click OK. And after clicking OK, as you can see here, we have this square node. Again, square node is what we call the decision node. As you can see on our graph here, we have the conduct and we have the none. No, not to conduct the survey. So we have here the chance node or the event node and the decision node. Meaning to say, after neto, we should branch this out into two. No, may magkaroon tayo ng two branch. As you can see here, set this into two. So add two branches. Okay? Now, for our first branch, this is labeled as conduct. Okay? And the profit. We have profit? None. No, wala pa tayo dito dahil this is just a chance node or the event node. So, hintayin nyo yan mag-zero. For now, let's proceed doon sa kasunod neto. Ano ba yung kasunod na node niya? No, actually, as you can see, we have positive and negative. Ano tong positive and negative? This is the probable result of the survey. Either mag-positive siya or mag-negative. And it is both the decision node. So, let's have this. 2 ulit. Add tayo ng dalawa. Take note, guys. As you can see, naka-highlight ito. Somehow colored green siya. So, kung nasaan yung naka-highlight currently, doon siya matatagdag. Kung ano yung, kung mag-add ka ng branch, doon siya matatagdag kung saan yung naka-highlight. Okay? And let's go back. Positive and negative. We have 0.58 here and we have 0.42. As you can still remember, this is part of our revised probability table. Okay, so let's have it in the POM-QM software. Again, positive 0.58, negative 0.42. So let's write it here. Positive. The probability is 0.58. No profit since wala naman siyang involved na profit for that. And for this part, we have negative. Probability, 0.42. Now, let's go back on this positive side. As you can see, guys, this under positive side, we still have 3 nodes pa dito. And those nodes are representing the tied with zone rocks, tied with downy, and the do nothing. So let's write or let's add rather another 3 branch. Okay, so make sure that ito yung naka-highlight. So add kayo ng 3 branch. Then let's write here tied with zone rocks. And what will be the okay, so tied with zone rocks and kung titingnan po natin paano tayo from left to right ang ating perspective. Kung titingnan natin, naka-branch ulit siya into 2 for successful and failure. And the payoff are 19 and negative 19. So, better na gawin muna natin to before tayo pababa. Paano tayo? Left to right, then up to bottom. Okay, so branch ulit natin to into 2. Ayan. So, the first one is successful with 0.83 probability. And our payoff here is $19. Okay, so next, for this one, this is failure. Probability of 0.17. Profit of payoff. Profit is the payoff, guys. Negative 19. Okay, that's it for the tied with zone rocks. Next is the tied with downy. Guys, take note, the answers on our decision tree, manual creation, are the numbers inside the nodes. Like this 1.7, 7.42, 6, 4.86. Those are the answers. For now, we don't have it yet since we're just inputting the given data. Okay, so let's write here tied with downy. Tied with downy. And this is with, the same with tied with zone rocks. Branch natin to into 2. So add tayo. Successful and failure with same probability of 0.83. And payoff pala muna. 11. 11 tayo. For the failure, same ng probability rin. Probability is 0.17. We have profit of -4. So, -4. Okay, so next, for this node, this is actually the do nothing node. Do nothing. Okay, for the do nothing, dalawa din po siya. Nasaan na tayo? Ito pala. 0.83 and 0.70 with -$1 as the payoff. Pareho. Okay, so branch natin to into 2 ulit. Then successful and failure. Successful, 0.83. Failure, oops. Sorry. This is -1. Let's write here failure. Probability of 0.17. Profit of -1. Guys, take note na yung mga payoff po nang gagaling yan doon sa ating payoff table. Na since this is adjusted kasi, this is under conduct, no? Kaya nag-1 tayo. This is originally 20 ito. Originally -18 ito. Nag-adjust yan dahil may cost of survey tayo. Since these decisions are all under conduct. Okay, I hope you get it. So, next, under ng negative tayo. Under ng negative, we have 3 nodes ulit for the tied with zone rocks, tied with downy, and do nothing. So, meaning to say, we're going to add branch dito sa node na to. Tatlo. Angat nyo lang to. Add. Okay, so for the first one, we have tied with zone rocks. And just the same with the above one. No, branch ulit natin ito into 2. So, lower down natin. Add 2 branches for successful and failure. Pero this time, iba na yung probability. No, nag-iba na yan. This is 0.29 na. Computed naman ito sa ating manual na solution. So, go back to our presentation regarding manual if ever na nakalimutan nyo na. Sir, nasaan ang galing tong 29, tong 71, etc. etc. Okay, dahil this presentation is focused only on the application in POM-QM software. So, let's write here 0.29 and payoff of 19. 0.29, payoff of 19. Next, for the failure, let's write here failure and probability of 0.71, payoff of -19. Actually, the payoff are just the same even if that is positive or negative. So, let's write here -19. Okay, next, for the decision 7, which is tied with downy. Let's write here, change the name. Tied with downy. And we should branch this ulit into 2, successful and failure. Yes, since this is both under the negative na result, no, pareho na po sila ng ating probability. So, the probability here should be 0.29. As you can see dito, ayan, pareho naman itong tatlong yan. 0.29 and the profit is 11 here for the tied with downy. And next, we have the failure. So, failure, 0.71. Profit is -4 or the payoff, -4. Okay, so that's it for the tied with downy under negative, under conduct. Okay, lastly, we have the do nothing. So, do nothing. And branch ulit natin into 2, successful and failure. Successful, the probability is 0.29. And we have -1 as the payoff. Actually, ito is 0. No, originally 0 yan. Kaya naging -1 dahil sa cost of survey na $1,000. So, bumaba pa, negative pa. Dahil under to ng conduct. Okay? So, this is failure. Then, 0.71 na probability. And -1. Okay? -1 na payoff. So we are done now, guys, under ng conduct. Ako personally, kapag gumawa ako ng decision trees, from left to right, then from up going down, no? From up to the bottom. Ganun ang akin. I don't know kung paano kayo. Para lang may structure yung paggawa at wala kayong malimutan. Minsan kasi, nagpo-proceed na sa next na mga nodes, nakalimutan na may naiwan pa pala. Kaya ganun yung pattern ko. It is up to you if you'll follow my pattern or not. As long as na-input ninyo yung mga data, complete data regarding the decision tree, wala namang nalimutan, and it is okay. No? In my case, inuna ko munang tapusin lahat ng under ng conduct before ako mag-proceed dito sa none. No? So, let's write here, none. Okay? And as you can see on our manual, diretso siya sa tatlo na node. No? So, let's add a branch na lang dito na tatlo. I-add natin to. So, add branch. Okay. So, for the first one, since as you can see, this is decision node yung dinagdag niya. Hindi naman decision node yung unang dalawa. Yung pangatlo, pwedeng decision node dahil last na yun eh. Diba? Terminal na yung nandito. Bakit po naging terminal? Dahil yung, kung iba-branch out mo to, successful tsaka failure, that is 0.6 probability and 0.4 probability. But, the payoff is 0. No, sir, nasaan yun? Ito po yun. 0, 0. So, 0 times 0.6 plus 0 times 0.4, that is some product, guys. Answer is 0 because ulitin ko, no, basic of mathematics, any number multiplied to 0 is equals to 0. Meaning, if ilalagay pa natin sila dito, sayang lang sa ink, sayang sa time, sayang sa space. No? So, it is better na gawin natin itong terminal node. And kapag ganun ang nangyari, okay na po yan, na decision node siya dito. Ang hindi okay dito is yung dalawa. Dahil this must be an event node. No? So, change lang natin how to change. Just click this, change to event node. Same with this one. Mamaya na, ito wala muna. Mag-branch muna tayo, ayusin natin, kasi nga ang pattern ko is from taas to baba. No? Ipalitan natin yung name. This is tied with zone rocks. Okay? Then, the probability. Ano ang probability for that? So, here, probability is wala pa. Na wala tayong ilalagay since ang probability ay nandoon sa branch natin. Successful and failure, which is 0.6 and 0.4. Meaning, dudugtungan po natin muna ito. Wala muna probability dyan, 0. Dugtungan natin ito ng additional na dalawang branch. So, let's make this 2 and add branch. For successful, natin, successful, probability 0.6, and the payoff, guys, is 20. Tapos negative 18 yung next 20. Okay, so for this one, failure tayo. 0.4. And payoff is negative 18. Okay, so next tayo, tied with downy. Okay, so tied with downy. For the probability, let's make this as 0 muna since wala naman dapat dyan. Dahil kailangan po natin ito i-turn into into event node. Ayan, change to event node before mag-add ng dalawa for successful and failure. Successful, 0.6. And the payoff here is 12 and negative 3. So, for this is 12 positive. Okay. And next, we have here failure. 0.4. For the payoff, negative 3. Okay. Next, for this one, last branch na tayo. Actually, yun na, patapos na po tayo. So, last branch natin will be the event 17, turn natin into do nothing. Oops. Okay, do nothing. For the probability, wala po tayong ilalagay. No, 0 lang siya and the profit is 0. Since this is considered as the terminal node. So, we're actually done, guys. What we're going to do next is just to click solve. After nyong ma-check, check muna kung nailagay na ba lahat. If okay na, click na yung solve na button. And the probabilities from node 3 sum to 0, they must sum to 1. Okay, if you encounter that error, guys, na nagsasabi na ito, no, click ulit natin. The probabilities from node 3 sum to 0, they must sum to 1. As you can see po, check ulit natin yung ating mga nodes. Dapat daw mag-sum to 1 ito dahil this is a chanced node or an event node. Ibig sabihin, as you can see dito sa ating PowerPoint, dapat yan ay decision node dahil yan galing siya doon sa mga chance node sa mga event node. So meaning to say, mali tayo, kaya nagkakaroon ng error, mali tayo nang na-input. No? If ever na nangyari yan sa inyo, i-check nyo ulit kung ano ba yung shape ng node ninyo, square or circle, dahil magkaiba yung ibig sabihin nun, especially sa software. So check nyo to, since this is wrong, dapat change to decision node. Dahil decision na ito, naggagawa na siya ng decision. No, and ito naman is tama yan, 0 tapos 0. The rest, okay na. I think so, okay na. So, let's check if ever na tama tayo. Solve natin. Ito, click solve button. And, okay. 7.42, 7.42, tapos 6. That is the first 3 EMV. Tapos 6, ayan. 12.54, 0.35, 4.8, then 6. Let's check if it's the same. 12.54, 0.35, 4.8, and 6. If ever natama naman yung mga una, more likely okay na yung hanggang dulo. So that is how we solve the revised probability na meron tayo, no, especially in using the POM-QM software. Madaling gawin ito sa software, pero yung analysis part kasi yung medyo mahirap. That's why we are trying to learn the long way muna na yung tawag dito, yung manual na solution para at least somehow alam ninyo ang ating ang ginagawa natin, yung nangyayari. So conclusion natin dito, Alfred should conduct the survey dahil nanggaling itong EMV na to na 7.42 dito sa conduct. As you can see, nag-blue siya. No, so Alfred should conduct a survey and expect a gain of $7.42. Since this is in $1,000, guys, 7.42 is equivalent to $7,420. So that is the decision for the company. If ever, ito po yung condition, if ever na ang result ng survey is positive, what they will launch? They will go into launch the tide with Zonrox. Ayun yung naka-highlight, ayun yung naka-blue. Since it is the maximum EMV with $12.54 or $12,540 na value. If ever naman na ang nangyari sa survey is nag-turn into negative, what should they do is to launch tide with Downy, since this is the highlighted one, colored blue, with EMV of 0.35. Okay? Now, if ang pipiliin nila is hindi mag-conduct ng survey for some reason, even nakita na nga natin na that is the optimal solution to conduct the survey, if ayaw pa rin nila na for some reason, nagnan sila, ang dapat nilang i-launch is the tide with Downy para still okay pa rin somehow yung EMV na makuha nila, which is $6,000 or $6,000. Ito is, kumbaga sa linear programming, this is part of this is just part of the feasible region, pero hindi siya yung optimal dahil ang optimal is this one, no? So case to case na yan, since this is decision analysis nga, may mga subjective factors tayo na pwede i-consider internally and externally sa ating organization. Okay, I hope guys you learned something from this short presentation regarding the application of the decision trees with revised probability and the POM-QM software. I hope you learned something. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the week. Keep safe always, guys. Bye-bye.